In the title of Suffragette City, Bowie conjures up the memory of an important moment in the history of liberalism, the moment when women got the right to vote, back in the early years of the 20th century. The liberal dream is to reach a world where every human is free and equal, and able to pursue their happiness. The suffragettes, whose name became synonymous with that victory, even though they appeared only at the end of the struggle, supposedly took us one step closer towards fulfilling that dream. Well, now we are living in the city that they've created for us, and we are after the 1960s, another glorious chapter, allegedly, in the history of liberalism. How much have we done to advance the liberation of women? Our hero is a guy busy scoring with a chick, who is an animal in bed. This was one of the outcomes of 60s liberalism, of the sexual revolution. It emancipated women from the Victorian perception that sex is something that they do only to please men, and allowed them to enjoy sex as well. The introduction of birth control pills enabled women to have sex more freely, and by the early 70s, some young women were aggressively sexual. Ziggy, as the next step in 60s liberation, celebrates this development in a piece of grinding cock rock that is a paean to the sexual powers of women. But there is also another side to the story. This promiscuity drags our hero into a world of sexual pleasures that leaves him with no time for anything else, and he sacrifices his friendships and his work to get more and more pussy. Usually, our lives are a combination of work and play, as Chuck Berry outlined in his rock and roll anthem School Days, in which the heroes are living in the tension between school's repression during the day and the release of dancing and making out during the night. The dream of youth culture was to get to a world where there is all play and no work, and here Bowie shows us such a world, where even the school days are insane. But that means that there is no tension and release, so our hero, to reproduce the effect, has to delve further and further into the world of carnal pleasures. In the process, he gives up on any other aspect of life. Again, this can be taken two ways. As a straightforward celebration of sex, it describes the girls of the time as so wild that only a certain man, a man who has made the mental shift required by the sexual revolution, can handle them. The hero's friend is still stuck with the sexual inhibitions of the past, so we cannot come with him to the Suffragette City, because he'd only slow him down. But it can also mean that our hero is becoming someone whose friends can no longer lean on, as he is too busy scoring. This Suffragette City is a place of sexual paradise for a man, and it makes him forget about any other human value, betraying his friends and himself as he sinks further and further into it. In short, it is another slice of Bowie's twofold edge. The song is celebrating the sexual revolution of the 60s, our new freedom, but at the same time hints that we are nothing but slaves to our base animal urges. It applies for women as well, of course. Instead of trying to pursue the possibilities that the suffragettes and their likes have opened for them, they are squandering it all on immediate gratifications. The final verse gives us more of the same, showing the hero discarding his male friends in favor of female companionship. The Here She Comes is lifted from the Velvet Underground's White Light, White Heat, suggesting that he is about to get his mind blown. The mention of Droogie, however, makes it more sinister. Droogie is how Alex, the hero of A Clockwork Orange, refers to his gangmates as they go on their rampages of assault and rape. It suggests that our hero may be enjoying the free spirit of his female counterparts, but deep down he gives them no respect and sees them as nothing but objects to satisfy his desires. The sexual revolution proclaimed that it would bring more love to the world, but the world that Bowie portrays shows, or at least hints, that the guys have not made the required mental shift, and instead of making love, they are exploiting the freedom to give the ladies the wham bam thank you ma'am treatment. There is no love here, just lust. Suffragette City, then, can be taken as an anthem for the sexual revolution, but also as a song about decadence, about betraying values for the sake of immediate gratifications. If we take the latter option, then it is an attack on the liberalism of the late 60s, which is endangering all that liberalism achieved. And as part of the Ziggy story, it shows us how the Ziggy cult, which started out as a church of man love, in which no one was to be turned away on account of their sexual orientation, deteriorates into a tasteless orgy in which any other kind of human ties are abandoned. The rush of the guitars and the ominous sax-sounding synth make for a great rock record, but evince a feeling of a culture hurtling towards its doom. Throughout the album, we followed Ziggy's effort to take us out of our miserable existence and lead us to a happy world. All his work is now down the drain.